That suitcase wasn't here before.
Shit, run, baby! Open the door! Hey, what are you doing?
In December 2018, Hunter was out in the wilderness on what seemed like a routine bear hunt. After tracking the bear through the forest, the hunter finally got his shot. The bear went down near the base of a tree, and for a moment it seemed like the hunt was over. But in hunting, things don't always go according to plan, and this video is a perfect example of why you should always be prepared for the unexpected. This is what happened.
It's right there. Stay back. Can you see me? Stand up here on the log right there. Oh shit.
I don't see him, Jimmy.
He's right there at the bottom of that tree.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay.
That's somebody threw him in. Oh shit, back up, honey. Get back. Shit, run, baby! Shit! Go, baby, run! Ah! God damn it! Lord! Shit! Go, bear! Run, baby!
The wounded bear, still very much alive and now in survival mode, charged and attacked. In those chaotic seconds, the camera shook violently as the hunter tried to defend himself. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, can you hold the camera a little steadier when you're getting mauled to death? I couldn't see the bear. But seriously, when a wounded bear is coming at you with everything it's got, steady footage is probably the last thing on your mind. Thankfully, he survived the encounter, though it serves as a stark reminder of just how dangerous wounded animals can be. This is why experienced hunters always stress the importance of confirming a clean shot and approaching with extreme caution. This hunter learned that lesson the hard way, and honestly, he's lucky to be alive to tell the story. Biaheza is a YouTuber known for his entrepreneurial experiments and creative projects. His content usually revolves around making money and testing wild business ideas. But in this particular video, he decided to try something completely different, building a custom camper setup in his Honda Element. But his current setup had two major problems. First, there was no heating solution. Second, he wanted to cook meals inside the car without having to step outside and deal with the freezing snow. So he got to work redesigning the interior. He built a new sleeping platform, added a wooden shelf structure with cubbies for gear, and even created a countertop for cooking. He loaded up the cubbies with a water jug, a battery generator, a mini fridge, and his favorite low-sitting chair that he described as a throne fit for kings. With the build complete, he headed to the Sierra Nevada mountains.
And with that, we were off to a lot more adventure than I thought I had signed up for. That is just unreal. I brought along some window covers, so let's get those up. I even got one for the moonroof in case the ops are in creative mode. The only windows I won't be fully covering are these front ones, and that's because I'm gonna keep them slightly open. But I do have this mesh that I'll be putting over them, which will still offer some privacy and it'll keep the bugs out. Car's been off for about 20-30 minutes and it is getting pretty cold. So for my heating solution, I've purchased this Korean butane powered heating device that a lot of people on the internet recommended. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sussed out with butane burning inside of a car, so I'm gonna use it sparingly and only when I'm awake. I brought this gas monitoring device. It should alert me if things get a little toxic in here. Now, to make sure I don't die from a fire, I did install a fire extinguisher in here. And then in case any ops or animals pull up, I did buy some bear spray. So I believe that covers the big three.
With the heater working perfectly, it was time for dinner. He fired up the propane stove and cooked what can only be described as a gourmet camping meal. I mean, most people bring hot dogs and beans camping, but this man is out here plating dishes like he's on a cooking show. After dinner, he sat back in his throne of a chair. He was warm, well-fed, relaxed, and ready to enjoy a peaceful night in the mountains. But that peaceful moment didn't last long, because this is when things took a terrifying turn.
Hey! Hello, who is this? Can I help you? Hey! What can I do for you?
Open the door!
How may I help you?
Open the door!
I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Hey, what are you doing?
It's been like 2 weeks since this happened, and my heart rate still goes through the roof anytime I watch this back. What you can't really see in this video is that the car that drives up and starts honking actually first fully blocks in my car. Someone comes out of the car with a flashlight, fully just blinding me, so I can't really see what's going on outside. And if you remember, my windows are cracked open, so I try to speak to him and he's just not responding. It's dead silence. He then suddenly starts banging on the window, yelling at me to open the door. He even goes for the handle of the door. And man, once I heard the aggression in his voice, my heart just fully sank. I realized that this was not a friendly encounter, so I reached around from the back and started up the car. I slide in the driver's seat. He gets even more aggressive, starts banging on all my windows, continues yelling at me to open the door. At this point, it got a lot colder, so the snow underneath the car is more frozen. My wheels are spinning in place, not catching traction. He's still blinding me with his flashlight. He aggressively rips off my mesh bug net, keeps banging the window harder and harder until he fully breaks it in, and I'm showered with shards of glass in my face. And praise the Lord Almighty, right at this point, my wheels catch traction and there's just enough of an angle there where I can squeeze past his car, get around him, and get myself out of there. You can see my left eye rapidly blinking here. It was blurry the entire way home, and after getting it checked out, it appears that some of the glass had scratched through my eyeball. I've been going through treatment for that, and I can now see more clearly, which is pretty great.
To this day, he has no idea what that person's intentions were. Maybe they lived in the area and thought he was up to no good. But then why block him in and smash through his window instead of just talking? It makes no sense. He had a whole breakfast planned by the river. He was hoping to enjoy some coffee and make the most of his new setup. Instead, he got an alternate ending that no one saw coming. This video is a stark reminder that when you're camping alone in remote areas, the biggest threat isn't always wildlife. Sometimes it's people. And you just never know what kind of situation you might find yourself in. On July 2006, two brothers decided to go hiking through the enchanted forests of Tofino, British Columbia. Now, when a place is literally called the Enchanted Forest, maybe that should have been the first clue that things might get a little weird. But hey, it was supposed to be a simple day trip, just exploring the trails and enjoying nature. One of them brought along a camera just to capture some scenic shots of the forest. But what they encountered that day would challenge everything they thought they knew about the wilderness.
Look! Wait, stay! Stay back!
A humanoid thing. That's the best way they could describe it in the moment. Not a bear, not a person, something in between. The moment they started filming, the creature seemed to notice them and quickly fled deeper into the forest. Because of course, that's how it always goes with Bigfoot. You spend years searching with high-definition cameras and get nothing. After the initial shock wore off, they decided to investigate the area where they'd seen the creature.
Okay, this is where we were when we just saw 15 minutes ago a live, I don't know, some sort of humanoid thing, I don't know. We're in the Enchanted Forest at Tofino. Right by that tree over there. Over there. Yeah, that one. Okay, right here. Come check the ground. I don't know. Maybe, oh god. Wait, come here, come here. Come here. Look at that. This is, he ran backwards, right? Over there somewhere. See, that could be a possible footprint. I don't know.
Could be.
Like, look. Yeah, I bet like any foot would like cause some sort of indentation there. I don't know. We need to. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. How are we gonna mark this?
Now, here's what makes this encounter particularly interesting. The person who experienced this describes himself as an atheist and a skeptic, someone who doesn't believe in things without evidence. His first instinct was to rationalize what he saw, suggesting it might have been a bear. But a 7-foot-tall bear, hunched over, that fled the moment a camera was pointed at it? That's not typical bear behavior. So, what do you think they saw that day? Could it have been a bear? Maybe. Could it have been a person in a costume? Possible, but unlikely. I mean, who's hiking around in a Bigfoot suit in the middle of nowhere on the off chance someone might film them? That's dedication to a prank that nobody asked for. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Gaz is a YouTuber who loves camping in the wilderness, often venturing into remote forests with his dog Fendi. His videos are usually about peaceful outdoor adventures, testing camping gear, and enjoying nature. But every now and then, he stumbles into something he wasn't quite prepared for. And this particular night? Well, let's just say it turned into one of those camps he won't forget anytime soon.
I'm doing a bit of a stealth camp, because you're not really supposed to be in these woods. But there is a spooky story that goes with these woods. The lady in white is supposed to haunt this location. It's an old dismantled railway, and apparently the lady who lived at the farm up on top of this hill, she hung herself down here. Now this is going back 1800s, I think it was.
After a bit of exploring, he found a perfect spot between 2 trees near what used to be an old railway platform. He could even see the farm up on the hill, the very place where the lady in white was supposed to have lived. Spooky, maybe, but Gaz wasn't too worried yet. Then he decided to test out some of his new gear, including a Silky Big Boy Outback Edition saw and a Bushcraft Essentials Bushbox titanium stove. He spent some time gathering firewood and splitting it to get to the dry wood inside because, well, this is England, and everything's always soaking wet. Once the sun goes down, Gaz sets up his tarp shelter and gets a fire going. He cooked up some chicken tikka soup, had a bit of a tipple, and settled in for the evening. From his vantage point, he could see houses in the distance with their twinkly lights on, so he joked about doing a bit of people watching with his binoculars. Just a normal, relaxing night in the woods, right? But as night fell and the forest grew darker, that peaceful vibe started to shift. He settled into his hammock, and for a while everything was quiet. But then, this happens.
Hello? Hello? What the fuck was that? Even our friends will heard that. Got myself a better light. Hello? Sounded like it was coming from over here. Alright, mate. Am I hearing things or what? That sounded like a woman crying. Whew. Got goosebumps and everything.
Now, I don't know about you, but if I heard that in the middle of the night in a supposedly haunted forest, I'd be out of there faster than you can say Lady in White. And honestly, that's exactly what Gaz did.
Nope. 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 Hello? Hello? Nah, I'm off, mate. I'm off. Come on! Oh, fuck off, man. Oh, don't get tangled now. Come on. Come on, mate. I can still hear it. Absolutely bobbed me pants then. A black cat sat on wall. I shat my pants then.
He packed up his gear in record time, didn't even tie his shoes properly, just threw them on and bolted. By the time he got back to his car, he was still trying to process what he'd just heard. The sound was clear enough that Gaz heard it, and it was unsettling enough to make him pack up and leave immediately. Some of you might say it could have been an animal, maybe a fox or a cat, since they can make some pretty eerie sounds. Others might think it was just the wind or his imagination running wild after hearing the ghost story. But Gaz seemed genuinely shaken, and that reaction felt real. So what do you think it was? The ghost of the Lady in White still wandering those woods? A person who needed help? Or just nature being creepy? Let me know in the comments. Wild Bliss Bunny is a YouTube channel dedicated to stealth camping in the most unconventional spots you can imagine. We're talking Walmart parking lots, behind 7-Elevens, even abandoned warehouses. Her videos are usually about finding creative camping spots and staying cozy, but sometimes the wilderness finds you even in the city. This time, Bunny decided to camp in a unique spot, a ring of redwood trees right in the middle of an urban area. She spotted a couple sitting at the picnic table near where she wanted to camp, so she had to wait for them to leave before claiming her spot.
All right, guys, we got lucky. That was indeed them. They left. Here's the picnic table, and as you can see, we are now in this expansive ring of redwood trees that is in the middle of this urban environment where cars can walk by, people can walk by. So our mission now is gonna be to find a little tucked away spot that we can set up and camp for the night. Oh my gosh. I cannot even believe this, you guys. I can't even make this up. There is a bunny right here. Are you kidding me? I guess this is where we're gonna set up camp because, like, come on.
A little bunny figurine just sitting there. And her channel name? Wild Bliss Bunny. I mean, what are the odds? She took it as a sign that this was the perfect spot to set up camp. So, she's getting ready to set up her tent when disaster strikes. Her camera tripod falls over and breaks the receiver for her microphone. Not exactly the auspicious start the bunny promised, but the show must go on. After some trial and error, she got the tent up. It was tiny, definitely a one-person tent, but it had these cool awning sections that opened up to make it feel more spacious. She was finally settled in, ready to get her bedding situated for the night. But then things started to get really uncomfortable.
Hey guys, I gotta abandon camp. I'm here in my tent. I was about to get my bedding situated, but some dude, so there was this guy on the bike and he kept like doing circles around, and then he sat at the bench that I showed you earlier, the table, and then he like went and sat by a tree, and I was like, what is going on? And then I thought he left, and then he came and he said knock knock after I like set up my tent and everything, and I'm like, why are you knock knocking? You know, why are you circling around on your bike and like making it like you left? And then after I'm like here and get my stuff all situated and set up, come up and say knock knock in the dark, like he doesn't even have a light or anything. So way too sketchy, and I'm gonna have to abandon camp tonight because that is not the business right there. So darn, too bad. This was a cool spot, but not anymore.
Now, let's be real here. If you're a woman alone in the woods at night and some random guy you don't know approaches your tent in the dark saying knock knock, that's not exactly a situation where you're going to invite him in for tea and cookies. She knew she couldn't stay there. Her gut was screaming at her to get out, and she's someone who trusts her instincts. So, she packed up everything as quickly as possible and abandoned camp.
That suitcase wasn't here before. Wonder if it's that guy's. Where is that guy? Anyways, we're getting out of here. Way too creepy, man. Way too creepy.
Sure, maybe this encounter was completely innocent. Maybe the guy was just socially awkward and didn't realize how threatening his behavior appeared. But when you're alone in the wilderness, you don't get the luxury of giving people the benefit of the doubt. This is a reminder that danger doesn't just exist in remote forests or abandoned buildings. Sometimes the scariest encounters happen in places where you least expect them. What do you think about this encounter? Was the guy just being friendly in the worst possible way, or was she right to abandon camp? Let me know in the comments. And if you have your own creepy camping stories, I'd love to hear them.
Like with any camp, there's always unknown variables, and you never know. We never know what's gonna happen.
If you want to see more encounters that'll make you appreciate your couch, check out the video on screen and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always change your mind later.